pancake and power slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam show. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam show. Turn it up.
What's up, everybody? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? We are back here for yet another episode of the Pancakes and Power Slam Show. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. We're going to have some fun, as we always do every single week. Class is in session. We were talking about last week having a gimmick for that, and so I have a gimmick for that. So we will get to that here in a minute. And so all right, be sure to share this link, repost it, do all the sharing and all that fun stuff, man. We're going to talk about the butterfly effect today, and how that's rooted in chaos theory, and yeah, so it's gonna be fun, and how that is relevant to CM Punk. So we saw CM Punk recently returned to the Survivor Series, and his 2024 in AEW has been very impressive. But he was just in AEW last year, so and he was getting booed and stuff like that. So it definitely has been a really interesting shift, and so all these interconnected things come together. And we'll talk about the butterfly effect. And so, yeah, so we're going to have some fun. Be sure to take this time to share the link. Let the people know that we have a good time. Let's bump that number to over 100. Right now, we are at 97 people here live on the Pancakes and Power Slam show. And share the link, let the people know, and let's bump it up to over 100. Be sure, let's get a bunch of likes too. Let's continue to get. I use this time to just like. If you're looking at this, go to YouTube, get another tab, do something else. Get on YouTube, like. 98. All right, we got one more. Let's continue to bump it up to over 100. Share. We're almost there. Be sure to like. During this time, we're boosting up these algorithms for more for future, to let YouTube know that people care about my product enough for it to plaster in people's faces when they're searching for things online. 100, ladies and gentlemen. 100. We did it. 101. Great job, y'all. Great job. We have crossed the threshold of over 100 people here live on the Pancake, and it's growing too. The Pancakes and Power Slams. So we're going to have some fun talking about the butterfly effect. Thank you for all of your sharing and your love and your appreciation. Now the next project, now it's 105, 106. Now the next project, 107. Keep going, y'all. 108, 109. Keep going, y'all. This is great. Be sure to like on YouTube. Like. All those 109 people on right now. Be sure to like on YouTube. Let's get this algorithm up. And if you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, go ahead and hit that sub button too. And we're going to have some fun as we do. And be sure to comment. If you want to comment on the screen, now we're at 111. Go ahead and comment. 115 and counting. Y'all are awesome. Ask Doc. Ask Doc is the way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Continuing to rise up. Right now, we're at 117, 119. So thank you so much for blowing starting to blow the threshold away of over 100. 121 we have right now. So thank you so much, y'all. I appreciate it so much. All right, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna continue to give y'all some love. 126. I'm gonna continue to give y'all some love. Y'all doing y'all's job with sharing and having people come in. So 128 people right now live, 130 now right now live on the Pancakes and Power Slam show. And I will continue to give y'all's flowers to tell y'all how awesome y'all are. Right now, there's 133 people live watching right now the Pancakes and Power Slam show. All right. So let's talk about CM Punk, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about CM Punk. CM Punk, very, very interesting. So last year he had a return after 8.5, actually almost 9-year absence, 138 right now. You also continue. So thank you so much. I want to, again, likes on YouTube, 138 people watching right now. Let's get all of those people to like this on YouTube. If I get 138 likes on YouTube, this will absolutely be in everybody's feed. There's 146 people right now on watching on the show. So like on YouTube, like. Thank you so much. And comment on YouTube too. So we're really trying to push this YouTube algorithm up to show to other people. All right. So CM Punk, after for so long scoffing about pro wrestling for such a long time, what he did was he decided to come back after nearly 9 years away from the business. Left at Royal Rumble 2015, returned in AEW in 2021. People were crying and loving everything about his return. It was absolutely just critically acclaimed, just amazingly acclaimed. Again, I'm going to give y'all's flowers. I'm going to keep giving y'all's flowers, man. 153 people currently right now live, 156, 8 right now. So it's the love is pouring tonight. So thank you so much. All right. So 160 right now. All right. So keep it up, keep bumping it up. Y'all doing a fantastic job. All right, so basically, CM Punk returned after nearly 9 years away from the business. It appeared as if AEW was going to be a home from him. Very bitter taste in his mouth from leaving WWE back in January of 2015. Actually walked away. The Vince McMahon wedding thing. All right, y'all, look, it's 173 people in here right now. So continue to bump it up. Let's do another threshold, y'all. Let's do over 200. All right. So right now we're at 174. So continue to share 175. So continue to share. Let's continue to do it. Let's do another threshold. Let's get over 200 people here watching live on the show right now. 176 is where we are right now. So thank you so much for your love. Let's bump this up 200, 177. All right. So CM Punk, what he did was he came back after nearly 9 years gone, and basically AEW was a home to him. You think that it'd be exciting. You think that he'd feel safe in AEW. The fans welcome him with critically acclaimed. We're at 182 right now. We're almost at 200, y'all. Continue to share this video. Share this video. We are 18 away from 200 live. So let's reach the 200 live. If you're watching this live, just hit that repost, hit that share button. Let's get to over 200 live. Y'all are amazing. Y'all deserve an air horn. Let's get to over 200. So if you're watching this, if you're one of the 182 people who are watching this show, all you have to do, hit that repost, share it, and let's bump it up. Let's get to over 200. We're at 183 now. So let's continue to get it. 186. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. We got this. We can do this. 186. We're almost there at 200. 187. All right. So CM Punk, basically what he did was he came back and his relationship with AEW soured quite quickly. There were two crucial moments within CM Punk that really changed the trajectory. We're at 190, y'all. We're 191. We're almost there. 192, almost at 200. The trajectory of CM Punk changed based on two really pivotal moments, and that was notably the Hangman Page face-to-face interview. You don't belong here. I'm defending people against you. Almost there, y'all. 195. We got five more. 196, four more. Let's bump this past 200. 198. Almost there. Two more, y'all, for 200. Let's continue to bump this up. Share 200, y'all. 200 people watching the show right now. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for the support. All right, so there were two people that were notably two moments in CM Punk's career that were notably pivotal in his departure to the company. And one was the Hangman Page face-to-face interview, and the other one was the Jack Perry Glassgate is what I'm going to call it. And when Jack Perry basically said this is real glass, there were some things backstage. CM Punk didn't want the real glass, and Jack Perry did the gimmick where it was the real glass. So those are two separate things. And you had CM Punk wanting to remain and wanted to keep his relationship with Tony Khan and AEW. And what happened was, even with the scrum, he still put over Tony Khan. Even in that infamous post show media scrum when he was chomping on the muffins, I think it was, that was really cool. And he really went to town about working with certain people. And of course, the fight backstage and all of those things that were a part of it, that has some legal action that was a part of that. And then the Jack Perry thing, it really was the straw that broke the camel's back. He goes in, he starts to argue backstage with Tony Khan. He wants out of his contract. He doesn't want anything to do with it. Those are all different situations. And if those things didn't happen, he wouldn't be in the WWE right now, most likely. So what is that? What is that? So it's something with CM Punk being in AEW and getting to the point where he goes to WWE after a nearly 10-year. So he came back 2013, left in 15, came back in 23. So he was gone nearly 9 years from WWE. So that's a huge jump that's a huge gap of being away from WWE. But he could have still been away from WWE if all those interconnected, interesting things didn't happen in AEW, where he, was permitted to leave his contract and just come back to WWE 3 months later. There was some really bad blood between him and AEW. He was in interviews. He said that for years, didn't want anything to do with pro wrestling. And so the psychology behind that, the psychological concept behind all of those goings-ons to lead CM Punk from AEW, putting over Tony Khan, appreciating their relationship, to now putting over WWE and Triple H, and from what I've heard from backstage, very positive. People are welcoming CM Punk with open arms. People are, he's thought of to be very different and very approachable now compared to before by some. Now, he has some good relationships with people beforehand, but he's a rebel, man. He really does that type of kind of march the beat of his own drum, you know what I mean? And I can relate to that as a Sigma male personality. I can relate to that, not necessarily from a rebellious standpoint or a defiant standpoint, But just kind of, hey, like I'm not going to conform, to the rules or to the what's popular or the rules. So I can relate to that when it comes to CM Punk. Now he's being more of a company guy. He's being more of a business guy, and he's being more respected backstage. But again, all that could have not happened if it wasn't for those particular events or those particular instances that happen in AEW. So let's dive into the butterfly effect. And so the butterfly effect is defined as a small change at one place in a complex dynamic system that can lead to large and unexpected consequences. And so basically, it's interconnectedness of unrelated events that causes a larger consequence. In this particular situation, there were several events that were different and that were separate and alone. They connected together. They led to a bigger event, and that was CM Punk leaving AEW. And so it's rooted in what's a concept called chaos theory. And chaos theory was originated by, he was a meteorologist, actually. His name was Edward Lorenz. And so what he did was, it was math integrated with science, but he was a meteorologist and used this concept, and he wanted to oppose Newtonian laws, Newton's laws when it comes to motion, motion, rest at motion. It continues to rest at motion, constant motion. It basically with motion, objects it remains at rest, and then objects in motion and constant speed remains in motion in a straight line unless basically influenced, manipulated in some way. So when you're thinking of Newtonian laws, it's more from a standpoint of predictability. So Newtonian laws discuss predictability. And so Edward Lorenz comes in and he brings in this chaos theory, and a subset of that is the butterfly effect, to basically address more probability than predictability. And his concept, his idea was, So the present determines the future. His idea of chaos was the present determining the future, but the approximate present that does not approximately determine the future. So there's a bunch of interconnected things that can skew predictability when it comes to those concepts. And so that's basically the basis of chaos theory. So basically, it stems from the development of scientists finding out that previously ignored random data was significant when it was taken into account over the long term. All right. So from a CM Punk perspective, okay, so you had his issue with Hangman Page. Okay, that wasn't enough to let him go. That wasn't enough for him to leave. He stayed. It was a time where he left. He got injured and things like that, and to win the championship. I had the post oppressor, so on and so forth. So the Hangman Page issue wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. Had a lot of beef within that, had a lot of beef with the executive, with the EVPs, the fight stuff. Even that wasn't sufficient for him to come back. There was a gap. There were some issues going on. He didn't like, working with a lot of people. He had Collision, and that was basically his baby. However, the Hangman thing, the backstage fight, the inability to work with like the Kenny Omegas in this world, as far as his relationship with the elite, none of those things specifically caused his departure from AEW. And then, however, though, all of those things connected, all those things collectively, that caused a sequence of eventually him leaving. And so that's the cool thing about the butterfly effect. How are these small changes in someone's journey or someone's life, even, how does it build up to this long-term consequential effect? And we absolutely saw that with CM Punk and his departure from AEW to WWE. It's based on the idea that not all phenomena can be predictable by Newtonian laws, like I told you before. It can be used to analyze social phenomena as well. So this is another interesting thing about the butterfly effect. So say, for instance, you have someone negatively commenting on social media. That can cause like a cavalcade of trolls. And so basically, like, someone does a negative comment, and that can lead into like a bunch of different trolling and eventually cause someone to either log off social media or we already talked about the psychology of negative commenters and where that came from, and the attention seeking and the insecurity and that groupthink concept that comes from that. However, you had a small type of situation that led more into a bigger type of consequence when it comes to that. And so what's interesting about CM Punk is CM Punk was the same person who was getting booed because the honeymoon stage from CM Punk was getting done and over with. It was getting done and over with. People just weren't after a time of really being a part of the CM Punk craze, as far as nearly 9 years, since he came. They got into that, but all of a sudden AEW, very similar to Cody Rhodes, they got into this honeymoon stage, and then they started booing him. Not really a reason. They just started booing him. And I always thought that was pretty odd when they started doing that. Then he came back on Collision, and then they start cheering him again, and then they start booing him again. Not really a reason, but they just got back out of the honeymoon phase. And so all of these little incremental things, all these little solo small things really piled up to CM Punk saying, AEW is just not for me. Now, again, man, if it was just a Hangman situation, would he still be in AEW? Perhaps. If it was just the situation with the Elite, could he have been still in AEW? Perhaps. If it was only the issue with Jack Perry, could he have been still in AEW? Perhaps. And so that's the cool thing about the butterfly effect, that these sequences, these small things lead to a sequence of things happening. So how do you even apply that with something like relationships, for instance? So what happens with the butterfly effect when it comes to relationships is that if you're starting to, and I do couples therapy, and so I really break this down when it comes to providing therapy and interventions to couples. And so say, for instance, if someone was late to pick you up, if y'all were about to go to, say, for instance, if y'all were about to, someone went from work, a husband went from work and picked up his wife for a date on a Friday night, for instance. And so, babe, I'll be there at 5:30. All right. 5:40 comes around. She's feeling some type of way because she's excited, and he didn't make any type of communication that he's going to be late. All right. So that solo particular instance doesn't need necessarily to have an impact. However, this can go two different ways. If that one thing is something that caused her to be upset, and then that's compiled by another situation where you said that you were going to book the plans for 3 date nights from now. and you didn't do it, and then all those things start to compile, that can lead to, those small things can lead to a consequence of a rift in a relationship. And this is really important when it comes to the relationship between CM Punk and Tony Khan. The same CM Punk who put Tony Khan over in that post-show scrum was the same CM Punk who yelled at him and Jack Perry backstage at All in Wembley. And so again, when it comes to relationships, these things are so important, man, to really focus on and just to be open about. And the chaos theory and the butterfly effect is really interesting. Say, for instance, you had you were coughing, or so you had to use the bathroom, for instance. It's the morning. You usually leave for work at 8:00. You had to use the bathroom at 8:00, and you're usually about 10 minutes late. I mean, so that means you're about 10 minutes late, usually about 10 minutes early. So you leave about 10 minutes later than what you usually do, but you're upset and you're like, man, I gotta use the bathroom, and man, I really don't want to be late to work because it's traffic, blah, 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 blah. But what happens is you get so emotionally just flustered when you leave 10 minutes early, because you're thinking about just that solo event is going to potentially cause you to get lost in traffic. But what could have happened that day was then you go on the freeway and you realize that was actually a blessing in disguise, because there was some traffic that was backed up 10 minutes early, and you could have been just stuck in there and even more frustrated, and you were able to clear out some traffic. Or another situation would have been, hey, 10 minutes beforehand, you would have been exactly that car that was a part of that car accident. And because of the time that you had, because of you having to use the bathroom, and you left 10 minutes later, and 10 minutes earlier, you could have been a part of that accident. You oversleep for 5 minutes and you're walking to work, and you realize that 5 minutes earlier, you saw basically what you realized there was something in the news of a car crashing into a pole, and you find out that it was 5 minutes before you left, and you could have been hit in that pole. All of those sequential things also deals with the butterfly effect. And there's a concept of the Nova effect too, when it comes to all these things leading to how it's supposed to. That's another concept when it comes to Nova effect. But just the small solo things, and they interconnect to oftentimes unpredictable or unforeseen consequence. It wasn't on CM Punk's bingo card in 2021 when he debuted in AEW that he was only going to be there 2 years, and he was going to eventually come back to WWE. And even on top of that, he was going to come back and have one of the best years that he's had, in all of professional wrestling. Beside his injury, Punk's been cooking this year. Punk's been he's been universally loved. The same CM Punk who comes to WWE in 2024 is the same CM Punk who basically was getting booed by AEW. Is it a difference in the fan base? What's different about CM Punk now than it was 3 years ago, or 2 years ago when he was getting booed in certain things? One could argue the audiences are more hardcore versus sports entertainment based. So that's an interesting thing too. But regardless of the issue, regardless of what it is, it was actually better on the other side. It's 2024 CM Punk has been more his stock has gotten a lot bigger and a lot higher than 2022 CM Punk. And and the interesting part of that phenomenon is that all of those things are a product of the butterfly effect, man. And so again, mainly the Hangman Page thing, a solo instance, the fight backstage after the scrum, solo instance, the Jack Perry issue, solo instance, the discussion with Perry backstage, solo instance, and CM Punk basically he wants out. So interesting concept with the butterfly effect when it comes to CM Punk. Also, just from a news perspective, CM Punk so Seth Rollins was originally supposed to feud with Bronson Reed, from what I was told, and then he was going to go to CM Punk. There was some little there was basically a finish. They wanted Seth Rollins to finish his feud with Bronson Reed and then go on to CM Punk. But unfortunately, Bronson Reed got injured, and he would be having surgery on Wednesday. As from what I believe I heard. Surgery Wednesday. Yeah, I know he's having surgery, but I believe it's today. As Wednesday for those not on the East Coast. For those not on the East Coast, it's going to be Wednesday is when he's having surgery. I'm almost positive about that. So he was able, so he can't be a part of that anymore. And so I was also told Drew was brought in because they wanted that monster heel. And Drew, it was a timing thing for Drew. They're trying to find a spot to put him in to become that monster heel. But again, butterfly effect, y'all. Butterfly effect. So now we're going kind of into the Seth Rollins CM Punk, which I was told is going to be the match is going to be at Netflix on January 6th. But guess what? Bronson Reed broke his ankle. I saw that. I saw the video of when he broke it or jacked it up, man. It just, man, how he landed on his daggone ankle coming down 350 pounds, almost coming down from the cage, and how he landed on that ankle, man. It was, wowzers, absolute wowzers. And guess what? What would have happened if he didn't land on the ankle? How would that affect his angle with Seth Rollins? Would he have just had a loss against Seth Rollins since he beat Seth Rollins? Since Seth Rollins needed, perhaps needed a win, to make him look stronger to head into the CM Punk angle. All these things are just really interesting intricacies when it comes to the concept of the butterfly effect. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the class for today. That when it comes to CM Punk with the psychological concept of the butterfly effect that's rooted in what's called chaos theory, originated by Edward Lorenz. And so, if I'm not mistaken, he actually passed away fairly recently, probably like 2008 or something like that, in the past 15, 16 years. And so he lived for a long age. And, for him to be a pioneer of this concept called chaos theory or the butterfly effect. I believe there was even a movie about it that came out about 20 years ago. And so it's a really interesting phenomenon when it comes to these little small things. So when you're journeying through life, it's one of those things that, like, everything doesn't have to be predictable. You know what I mean? Like it's good to have purpose, it's good to have plans, all those things. But if you get a snag in one of your plans, something happens, somebody couldn't make the event. Someone could say for instance, let's just throw this out there. Say you had a business meeting, right? You had a business meeting, and your business colleague that worked the way that the work that was supposed to meet you there, he called out sick, and so you were now uh, eating brunch by yourself, and there was someone who was attractive that walks in, y'all lock eyes. Now you ask, she's sitting somewhere else, and now you have time, and then you walk over and you ask her, can you join her? That wouldn't have happened if your coworker, if your business partner wouldn't have called in sick, or wouldn't have canceled because he was sick. Interesting intricacies when it comes to those particular things. So when things happen in your life like that, it's like maybe it's leading to something much bigger and grander. Maybe the consequence, or maybe the situation that it leads to, is better than what you originally planned. We clearly see that with CM Punk, because 2024 WWE CM Punk is much better, a whole bunch of greater than signs, than 2021 to 2023 CM Punk. Not only from his overall morale perspective, he's not getting in fights, he's not arguing and yelling with people. I'm not even saying from a standpoint of AEW versus WWE as far as like who's better. I'm not even talking about all that. I'm talking about from his personal business perspective. His time in AEW is not as good as his time in WWE, and his time in WWE completely stems from all of these small things that led him out of AEW. So it's a really interesting concept that when you think, like, when stuff happens, feel your feels for a second. It could be it could be very irritating and things like that. But hey, maybe if you think of more of an optimistic lens, maybe this is eventually leading to something that's a lot more beneficial for you. All right. Class is in session. Oh, that's the bell, ladies and gentlemen. It's that is the class for today. We're not done yet. I'm about to get into the questions. Again, ask Doc, hashtag ask Doc for your questions. I'm gonna do a small Q&A, and then we're going to head over to the Patreon. We're going to do Saturday night's main event predictions, and I'm actually going to give a spoiler of who there's going to be another match added to the Saturday night's main event. I'm going to talk about that on the Patreon. There's going to be another match added to the Saturday night's main event card. It hasn't been reported publicly yet, but there's a teaser, and then I'll tell what the match is on the Patreon. So, y'all, 273 people live right now. Y'all came through, y'all. Y'all came through. All right. So for those who are OGs, for those who are weekly people, y'all know what time it is. It is time for the question cast. All right, I can't address all the questions because we'll be hopping over to the Patreon. Okay, before I ask these questions, I want everybody. I want y'all to hop on the YouTube page and like. All right, there's currently 274 people watching live right now. So 276 now. So if we can get these people these 276 people to go over to YouTube and hit that like button. That is going to significantly raise the algorithms of the video, and it's going to absolutely plaster this algorithm on people's videos. And I want these people, if you enjoyed the class, if you enjoyed the session, we do this every week with different sessions, with different classes, with different me talking about psychological concepts when it comes to pro wrestling. And not only have the 279 people stayed the past 43 minutes, y'all continue to grow. And so thank you so much for your amazing support on the show today. But here's the thing. Go ahead and like on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. Heck, man, look, it's 281 people, almost at 300. Like on YouTube, comment on YouTube too. If you liked what you saw, be sure to share this video, comment on YouTube. I really, really appreciate y'all. We're over 280 people right now live, and it hasn't dropped at all. So I really, that means so much to me, y'all. That really, really means so much to me, and I really, really appreciate that. All right. Let's see here. Any news? The People's Wrestling Channel. Any news on Penta signing with the E? Yeah. So here's the thing, man. When it comes to these types of news, when it comes to this type of news, hold on a second. Let me be sure that gets. Let me fix this real quick. Check 1, 2. Check. Check it. Check. All right. No news yet on Penta signing with the E. And so yeah, I haven't received any information on that yet as far as that's concerned. Well, kind of, but not enough to report right now. Rita's out with a broken ankle. There'll be no him versus Rollins anytime soon. Yes. How's your back? Still the same. Still grinding. Still grinding with this back thing. Still really trying to, keep praying. Keep praying. Mono 2 had the biggest 5-day opening in the history of Hollywood. That's just insane and hugely massive. Good for that. Good for Moana. I reported about the current status of The Rock. So stuff like that doesn't help the WWE, that's for sure. People's Wrestling Channel, you should have the PNP t-shirts hung up behind you to promote them and have a ticker on the screen or a video package that I can help to go and making. But that's only if you want me to. No, well, thank you, but I definitely am not going to have that on my the back on my background because I like the loungy feel to that. All right, let's see. Axe Doc. I always wondered this: can WWE see the minute-to-minute ratings backstage? Not that they care about ratings, only care about what brings the money. Analysts do more stuff like that. Yeah, so you have a lot of people who get like Nielsen, like that's one of the big ratings. And so WWE used to always check like the Nielsen ratings and stuff like that. But that don't really matter nowadays. That's for sure. Richard, how come we're not talking about Ray Phoenix this week, Doc? I heard you say that earlier with Bill Apter when he asked you about it. Good question. I had this topic to talk about, and plus with the CM Punk stuff, with CM Punk and Seth Rollins news that came out today, I decided to. It was actually between those two topics as far as the Ray Phoenix, more from a psychological standpoint when it comes to comments that I saw in the Ray Phoenix thing. But yeah, I mean, for the sake of, I reported what I reported. There's a couple of other things that I was told that wasn't necessarily like, it was more like, it was a lot to do with the situation, but I definitely want to report things as professional as possible. That's my job to do so. So I definitely kept it professional and worthy. I got to represent my brand when it comes to reporting things with integrity and respectfully. So, kudos to Ray Phoenix for giving me the endorsement that said that my report was one of the most accurate reports so far, is what he said. So that just goes to show how serious. Like I'm. Yeah, I can go on. I can go on and on. Matter of fact, y'all, go ahead and bump the share real quick with these questions. We're at 295 people watching live right now. So go ahead and share. For those watching, share, repost. We are 4 away from 300 people live right now. So let's do it, y'all. Let's get to 300 before we get up out of here. All right. All right, let's see here. Rollins said tonight we got 2 more, y'all. We got 298. The like button has been smashed. Rollins is one of the most supportive people and of my work, and I am continually grateful for that, for sure. Elvis, last night at the city council, I was appreciated. I was appointed to the Streetscape Advisory Committee. I will come on, y'all. We're almost there. We're almost to 300. Christmas edition of PNP. Oh, that's a good question. Christmas is on a Tuesday, isn't it? It's on a Tuesday. No, it's on a Wednesday. Yeah, it'll be a Christmas Eve edition. Yeah, it's be a Christmas Eve edition. Yeah, this was you said, Christmas Eve edition. Yes, there will. I'll be having a Christmas Eve. Have you heard that Black Bart has been under the weather recently? I've heard a lot about Black Bart's status. All right, come on, y'all. Share. We're almost at 300. We're at the cusp of 300. It would make my night so much if y'all just repost it, have people jump on. We've been consistently growing this entire time. And is that going? There we go. Yeah. We're almost there, y'all. Share, repost. And let's get we're 2 away, y'all. 2 away. 300. Let's go. 300 people live. 301. Thank y'all so much. James, kind of a touchy subject. But is there any hope of seeing David Bawani getting a wrestling ring? I know he said he's been wanting to sign with a major company, but that's about almost 3 years ago. My personal opinion of David Benoit, if he wants to wrestle, he's going to wrestle somewhere. Some indie promotion will pick him up somewhere. As far as a major promotion, I mean, it's not for me to determine that, so I'm not quite sure. Mad Dragon is in the building. 306, by the way, y'all. Y'all are awesome. Have you heard about any international PLEs in 2025 for WWE? I'm working on that. I've got some intel as far as some PLE stuff. So I'm actually, that's one of my projects that I'm working on as far as announcing PLEs. But again, here's the thing, man. I'm not a big fan of announcing things way ahead. I announced the Rock stuff because that's the current plans of the Rock. Like currently, the Rock isn't scheduled to be at WrestleMania, and I reported that. I said currently at the moment, like at this time, all those things, and people still couldn't read enough to see that. But I was very adamant about reporting currently and at this time and all that. So yeah. But like the Cody stuff, like I'm getting backlash because Cody Rhodes was originally scheduled to be a part of the Survivor Series team, and plans changed. So yeah, so that is what happened. People screenshot all types of screenshot that. Actually, I actually said in that same tweet, I believe, I don't remember what tweet it is because I've reported probably at a dozen spot on reports of the past couple of months. Shinsuke, Lillian, Saudi, four particular moments on Raw itself. I don't even remember Drew's absence, reasoning, which he confirmed in an interview. So, like, it's just I love reporting this stuff. I love it, man. I love what I do. I love being a doctor. I love being a therapist. It's amazing. It's incredible. Being a college professor is super fun too. Been a podcaster, hanging out with the 309 people now live. It's awesome. It's fun on PMP. But I really love a good dopamine kick for me. Like in between clients, I work back to back to back, but I'll take some time in between clients to receive intel, respond to text messages, or respond to Twitter and stuff like that. I love just reporting stuff. I've been a journalist for almost 15 years now, and just being an insider is just so fun. It's super exciting. I love rocking with y'all on Twitter. Like, agree, disagree, whatever, as long as it's done as adults, man, I don't care about that, man. That's all fun and games. That's all exciting. I just love rocking with y'all as far as just your comments on the reports. I always say, like, again, rule of thumb for anybody looking at any type of report, no matter what sport it is, separate the reporter from the report. And the reporter should be sure to do that with him or herself too, because hey, just because I'm reporting something doesn't mean I agree with it or want it or anything like that. I mean, like that has nothing to do with the reporting. It's like, again, it's like a breaking news reporter or some type of news anchor or something like that who does breaking news, like reports a death or something like that. It's not like they wanted the person to die or wanted the person to be severely injured. It's just that's what media is all about. It's sharing information to the people. You are the medium. So that is a part of reporting. That is a part of news reporting. And so just because I'm reporting something from sources that clearly are legit, I'm doing my job as being a scoop guy, being an insider. You do your job to report it if you're media, or comment on it if you like it, if you dislike it. That's the fun of the socials. And then people do, look at last week's show as far as like the weirdos. All right, is the Black Scorpion good to go? Man, check my Twitter. I posted on my Twitter, man. He's out for vengeance, and he challenged Toots Mott to Saturday Night's main event. So, chance of WWE bring back every Hall of Famer legend who competed at Saturday Night's main event to appear on stage for the return on the show. I would do that. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I don't know about the format, but that would be a very interesting way to go. All right, y'all. It is time to rock and roll. To head over to the Patreon. Thank you all so much. Right now, we are at 320 people live. Look, we need this type of energy every single week. Patreon is going to know about my topic for next week. That's going to be on my Patreon. We're heading over there now, patreon.com/pancakes and power slams. 3 things. I'm going to let you know next week's topic. We're going to Saturday Night's main event predictions, and I'm also going to give a spoiler that hasn't been reported yet of a match that will be added to the Saturday Night's main event card. And yeah, so it's going to be interesting. So pancakes, patreon.com/pancakespowersams. I'm heading out, y'all. It's been wonderful. Everybody who's here right now, when you log off, go to YouTube, hit that like button, comment. That boosts my algorithm up. If I can have 320 people consistently throughout the entire show, we've been here almost an hour. We started with like 100, and now because of y'all rocking with me, we're at currently right now, as I'm looking at the 320 people that's is consistently been rocking with me throughout the entire show. So y'all are awesome. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate y'all so much. Very, very, very much so. And 323 now, 24 now. So y'all head over to YouTube, like all 325 of y'all, head over to YouTube, like this, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your aunties. This is what we do it over at PNP. We rock. We roll every single week. Classes in session. We have a great time. Until next week, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless. And always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. So long.